Hello and welcome to Flat Spotted. My name is Matthew McMahon and this is a very quick review of the F175 launch show. This is the show that saw every team launch their liveries for the 2025 season, and we had special guests and musicians, and we had Jack Whitehall doing his comedy routine, roasting some of the drivers and other people there as well. Every bit of me wanted to hate this coming into it, but I have to say I actually did quite enjoy it. It's got me really revved up for pre-season testing next week. I think it was a great way to launch the season and get things going. Some bits were better than others. Some bits were kind of cringe, but I thought Jack Whitehall did a great job. The jokes were good, the banter was good, the crack was good. Yeah, I think overall it went well. I can see moving forward into next year, this is something maybe not like this, because obviously this is F175. It's a tribute to 75 years of Formula 1, but I can see them taking this format in some form and doing something like this again next year. A lot of kind of hardcore fans saying it was cringe, it was terrible, but I don't think it was aimed at hardcore fans. Formula 1 is this global entity that it wasn't necessarily 5-10 years ago, and I think something like this is going to appeal to casual fans or fans who know a little bit about Formula 1 but maybe not that much and kind of want to check out what it's all about. Likes of Drive to Survive already does that, but this opens it up even more. I think that's what Formula 1 is now. It's not this kind of sport that some people follow and others don't. It's this global entity now, and this is the way it's going. I don't think that's an entirely bad thing. I know Formula 1 fans, and I'll include myself in this to some degree, don't like change. I do remember a time when F1 launches were a team taking the car out of the garage at pre-season testing and putting a sheet back to reveal it, and photographs and all that kind of thing. I think to some degree those days are kind of gone. This is where it's going. It's a bit show busy, whatever else, but that's where we're at. I mean, at the end of the day, our sport has sold out the O2 Arena in London for a launch event. Like, there's weight to that. Like, growing up in school, like, I was in a classroom of people who 99% of them were either football fans, soccer fans, or GAA fans. Maybe one other person liked Formula 1. I was an F1 fanatic since the age of 4, so to go from that, where we're now at a place where loads of people I follow on social media have an interest in Formula 1, and you see them either sharing things to their Instagram story or commenting on them online. And I think it's something to be really proud of. I've always been very protective of it. I don't like people making a mockery of it. But when we're at this stage now where new young fans are being introduced to it, other people even my age who may not have had an interest in it are now starting to get interested in it because of some of the dynamics happening, some of the storylines happening. I mean, you obviously had the Russell and Verstappen spat from last year. Verstappen and Hamilton from a couple of years ago in 2021, that was a big year. I mean, I remember the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I know it's almost like the race that should not be named at this stage, but I remember my father watching that race in its entirety. I being a Formula 1 fan since I was 4, that had never happened before. So the sport is now at a stage where it has a global audience bigger than it ever had. So events like this, you just have to take them into account. And as a hardcore fan, I have to say, it was good. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's gotten me in the mood for the season. I'm excited now for pre-season testing, so I think as a taster, it did the job it was supposed to do. We're already starting to get little storylines for the season going ahead. The FIA getting booed out of the arena practically when their name was mentioned. We're in a situation now where the president of the FIA is essentially running a dictatorship on it. They're enforcing draconian rules. You have the swearing rule that will have drivers fined, and that's already been enacted, by the way. Adrian Formeau in the World Rally Championship sweared during the post-stage interview, I think at the final stage of Rally Sweden last weekend, and got fined €10,000 for it. So they will do it. And I'm really intrigued to see this season, will there be more driver spots with the FIA? Is that going to be something that's going to ramp up? So to see that, I'm starting to wonder now, was that a statement to Paris? Are some of the personnel within the FIA going to look at themselves and say, I don't really want to be associated with this, and move on? Or, as I expect, is the president going to double down and say it's my way or the highway? It wasn't for everybody, I'll admit, and you can see some of the commentary on social media saying a lot of people thought it was cringe, a lot of people thought it wasn't what Formula 1 is about for them, which is fine, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But I think you're going to see a lot more of these things going forward. With that being said, please let me know what you thought down below. I'd love to know. And very short episode this time, but thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon. I'll do something on pre-season testing, whether that be during or after, depending on my own scheduling. And yeah, with that in mind, thank you for watching and listening.